Hello everyone, welcome back to CCSP certified channel. Today we'll cover three important laws. So it is part of important laws and standard and in continuation of our lecture 6. So in lecture 6 we have covered about the US laws, and as I mentioned this is important for both CCSP and CISSP exam. So today we are covering three important laws: FedRAMP, FISMA and HIPPA HITECH. You can expect at least couple of questions in both the exams from these three important laws. So before jumping to this, I just quickly share one good news to you guys. I have cleared CISSP exam last month, and I'm happy to assist in case you guys need me to prepare video series for CISSP also. So do comment and let me know if my videos and teaching style is helpful and you want me to prepare a video series for CISSP too. For this current video series, it will remain focused on CCSP. So my goal will be remain focused on to help you get further faster in your CCSP exam certificate. But I do cover topic which is common in both CCSP and CISSP in this video series. So my focus is to create a high probability exam topics, videos on those topics and explain the difficult exam concept, because soundness of concept is very important to clear any of the IC square exams. And the important source of my teaching is questions from various sources. One of the important sources my candidate feedback. So I do conduct classroom study batches also, and you can see my candidate feedback on my LinkedIn profile. I cover questions from CCSP question bank and sample question banks also. And definitely I like to the point discussion because time is limited, and I will try to use my vast 15 years of industry knowledge, CCSP and CISSP learnings now, and other cloud certificate knowledge to make things simple and easy for you. So many candidates ask me, and I have repeated this in past also. So sorry if you guys are already watching it and it is repeated information for you, but for new candidate, if they want to know whether the YouTube study is sufficient, so it is free and sufficient. You don't need any other classes. But in case you want any comprehensive and effective approaches that has worked for me and my candidate, you may join any regular batch. I am starting any batch in future. If you want to join, you can let me know, or you can purchase self-paced recording also. So I will share a link of a self-paced recording in this video description. You can purchase the recorded content also with the nominal fees. So next page I'm starting for CISSP because I'm getting requests from many of my old students to start for CISSP page. So in case you want to read about or to get certified in CISSP quickly, there is a 40 hours weekend page I'm starting from 2nd December onward. It may go till end of January 2024. It will be 2 days a week, Saturday, Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST, approx 40 hours. And as it for working professional, I don't fix this time. If majority of the candidate want to change the time, it is flexible. Also, I do share the classroom recordings in case you miss any of the class. And I have seen the exam recently. I know the exam questions, and I have customized, created custom content based on this CISSP only. So if you are interested, write me at the ccsp-certified at the gmail.com or WhatsApp me on this number +91 837 008 1064. One more good news I want to share about the peace of mind. There is a 50% off offer shared by the IC Square recently. So if you purchase voucher between 20 November 30 November, previously you have to charge $200 extra, but this time for this 10 days duration, if you purchase a voucher and sit exam by 31st August, you just need to pay $99 extra. So it is very good offer, because when you go to exam you don't know the exam pattern and always you in the pressure. So always go with the peace of mind promotional activity offered by the IC Square. Here you will get second free attempt in case you don't qualify in the first attempt. Second free attempt is available till 15th of February. So for the CCSP and CISSP, the offer is applicable with fees. There is $99 if you pay extra. You will get two voucher, and the dates are mentioned here. So my suggestion is better if you're going with the CCSP or CISSP exam, do purchase voucher with this peace of mind activity. So we already almost over 5 minutes. We quickly start over the topic of the day. The in case you haven't seen my previous video, I do recommend to at least watch the last video. That is started the USA law. Though I will cover a quick recap here. So concept we will cover in this video is FedRAMP, FISMA, and HIPPA HITECH. And as I mentioned there, just a quick recap that we have seen that there are various US laws important for exam perspectives, but HIPAA, HITECH, FedRAMPs are very important that we'll cover in this lecture. Remaining few will cover in the next lecture. And there are laws apart from this which we have seen. We just need to know what is the abbreviation of them and what is the use of this, like GLBA for finance, ICPA for electronic communication data in use case, like this. So I will prepare one table also in the end of this video series. So the tabular form will be easy for recap. So here for this there are three important laws we are covering, both important for both exams, CCSP and CISSP, FISMA, FedRAMP and HIPAA. Let's deep dive into the them. So FedRAMP very important for exam prospective. At least for CCSP you will get a direct questions. I have seen in almost all the exam. FedRAMP is associated with the which standard? It is 853. So what is 853? We'll cover here. But there is a direct question coming in the exam. FedRAMP and 853. Just remember this. FedRAMP is associated with the NIST 853. And what is FedRAMP? Full form is Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program. So sometime candidate ask me whether we need to remember these abbreviations. No, CCSP or CISSP don't expect you to be remember that. They don't ask what is full form of FedRAMP. But what smartness they do, they don't give the FedRAMP as an option. They sometimes give this Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program in the option. In that case, you get confused if you don't know the abbreviation. So better to read it once, but don't memorize it. So let's deep dive into the FedRAMP. So first we'll cover what is NIST SP 853. The primary goal and objective of the NIST 853 standard is to ensure that appropriate security requirements and security controls are applied to all US government information. So few things important to remember. This is for US first. It is for federal government information only. It is not for all the information. If any information related to the federal government, this NIST 853 applies. And there is a security. It is a security related framework standard. So security requirement and security controls. So what FedRAMP do actually? So NIST 853 is a very wider standard. FedRAMP is a subset of NIST publication, and it is what it focus on. Its security controls especially selected to the provide protection in the cloud environment. So those controls, selection of those controls related to the cloud environment are documented under FedRAMPs. Those are guidelines actually. So FedRAMP provide guidance to government and corporate organizations that if you are using the cloud environment, what should be the security controls you have to select. So keyword to remember with the FedRAMP is first is it is 853. Second is a selection of security control. Third, it is for cloud environment. This three, if you remember these three keywords, it is good enough to give answer in the exam. There will be at least one question from FedRAMP, whether they will ask which standard it is associated with, or they will ask uh, uh, is it related to the cloud or what, and it is selection of the security controls. One more important things to remember, FedRAMP standard dictate that American federal agencies must retain their data within boundaries of US, including data within the cloud data centers. Even they are purchasing the cloud services, they must retain their data within the US because cloud is a omnipresent and global service. You cannot keep your data outside of US because of this FedRAMP standard requirement. And there are some examples like AWS provided government cloud, and Microsoft Office also provided government and Azure Active Directory. IBM also Smart Cloud for government is there. They are the example, and they are the compliant with the FedRAMP standard. Next is FISMA. We have seen this FISMA in the last lecture also. FISMA stands for Federal Information Security Management Act. So it was enacted in 2002 as a part of Electronic Governance Act, and amendment happened in the 2014. What this FISMA is all about? This defined a comprehensive framework. So it is a framework. Actually, it gives a framework. What type of framework it gives to protect government information, operations, and asset against natural or man-made threats. Any natural or man-made threats, if there, how to protect that information? These frameworks provide the detail, and this requires federal agencies to implement a mandatory set of process security controls and information security governance. So it also provides, these frameworks also provide some mandatory checklist or set of processes that must be followed by federal agencies to implement. There are some objectives not very important for exam perspective, but quickly we cover because there's a part of our syllabus. So what are the FISMA's objectives are? Align security protection with the risk and impact, establish accountability and performance measures, and empower executives to make informed risk decisions. So FISMA, just remember, FedRAMP is for cloud-based selection of security control. FISMA is a mandatory set of process that applies to the federal agencies information management. Now we can click on HIPPA, which enacted in 1999, which amended in 2009 with the name as HITECH. But first we cover HIPPA. HIPPA its abbreviation is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and it is a federal law designed to protect the privacy and security of the patient information. So it includes privacy rules, security rules, and breach notification rules. If there is a breach happen, it is mandatory to notify, like we have seen in the GDPR. It is mandatory to notify in 72 hours. Same way, it is mandatory to provide this breach information to patient immediately. So this is part of HIPAA Act. Now HITECH, which is abbreviation is Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health. It actually it was the intention to bring this was different, and though the intention behind this regulation was a little different, but it became a actually upgrade version of HIPAA. So HITECH written in the digital age and strengthen the privacy and security rules found in the HIPAA. So HIPAA, we have a PHI, we have seen in the last lecture also. PHI stands for Protected Health Information. In AST 122 PAI data, when we were discussing, we discussed about the PHI. Here is the ePHI. So how they have protected or strengthened the privacy and security rules? So they have provided the financial incentives if you are adopting the EHR. EHR means the Electronic Health Record Management. If you follow this, there is a financial incentives to you, and there is an increased penalties in case you violate for HIPAA privacy and security rules. Some of the significant addition to HITECH, this is very important. This portion is very important for exam. Prospective will get at least one question from this. There is a BA added in this HITECH. The BA is a business associate agreement. It is a written signed agreement between the business partners associated with the health industry. Like in hospital, there is an insurance partner is there. There's a medical store there. Their vendors, their laboratories are associated. Previously, if there was a breach happening from those end, let's say your patient, you have collected the blood sample and sent this blood sample to the laboratory, which you have tie up, and there is a breach happened at the laboratory end. HIPAA was not able to handle those situations. Now the BA is mandate that liability of the BA is also now with the same way, like hospital has the liabilities, their business associated also has the same liabilities. So this is being added as an addition to the HIPAA, and there is a higher penalty for willful negligence in the HITECH. So BA must notify the covered entity of a breach of an unsecured PHI as described in the HITECH, and now BA is directly subject to certain HIPAA security and privacy provisions. Previously they were not liable, now they are directly liable, and the directly subject to the certain HIPAA security and privacy provisions laws now. So we have covered the theory part. This is good enough for exam perspective. Let's see what type of question comes from these topics in the exam. First one is very simple. FedRAMP is recommended by which NIST standard? So we have seen that NIST 853, very easy direct question. This coming in the exam. That's why I added here. They are asking very simple question from FedRAMP. So it is associated with the SP 853. Next one, the US government-wide program that provide for standardized approach to security assessment, authorization, and continued monitoring of a cloud product. So if you see the cloud, definitely it should come, FedRAMP should come in your mind. So what is this service called us? It is the FedRAMP. But as I mentioned there, sometimes they are smart enough, they don't give the exact uh, abbreviation, they may give the full forms. So like Federal Information Security Management Act, it is FISMA. Health Information Technology of Economic and Clinical Health, HITECH. Federal Risk and this is the FedRAMP. So and last one is HIPPA. So the good, either you can generate the abbreviation from this word, that's fine. Otherwise you should remember at least some keywords. What is FedRAMP abbreviation, what is HIPAA, that will be good enough to give the exam questions answer. Next one, you are a security director of a online retailer in Belgium. In February 2022, an audit reveals that your company may have been responsible for exposing personal data belonging to some of your customer over the previous month. Which law is applicable in this instance? So in how to approach these questions, so whenever I'm here in the video lecture, I'm not able to pause it, but when you watch this video, my suggestion is pause the video and then try to give the answer. So here the, if you must know that Belgium is part of European Union, then if you know at least this much information, then you can eliminate FedRAMP and FISMA because those are US laws. Then there is a Belgium law and GDPR. So we have seen this GDPR is a land of law. So every country in the European Union applicable to GDPR. So in this case, we'll go with the GDPR. We don't know whether Belgium law has applicable is or not, but at least you know GDPR is applicable 100%. Next one. So next one is the, which of the following organization would not automatically subject to a privacy and security requirement of HIPAA if they engage in electronic transactions. So we have seen that HIPAA has a requirement of BAA where business associates are liable directly. So in which of the scenarios it will not be. So good part in exam is if not or if negative question being asked, they underline this. So whether a healthcare provider, health information clearinghouse, health insurance plan, and health and fitness application developer. So we have seen that vendors like medical store or the insurance plan or the laboratories, cleaning house, they are directly responsible because they are working handling the data directly. But a developer might not be because they have developed and shared the application to the hospital or the health industry already. So option will be D. So D will not be automatically subject to the HIPAA's guidance for the electronic transactions. The last one is the exam question, but it's not completely a replica of this one because we have to maintain the secrecy of the exam. But I have just changed, modified the language in some of the scenarios to give what type of questions may ask and how to approach for them. So this question is, if you are owner of a private medical hospital in the United States, you have established a partnership with local laboratory for conducting blood tests. The laboratory uses a cloud-based HRM system to manage patient data. Unfortunately, some blood reports of your patient has been illicitly addressed by disgruntled employee working with the cloud-based systems, in which condition the laboratory may not be deemed liable under the HIPAA Act. So we have seen that even though there is a disgruntled employee in the cloud, you are the responsible because you have collected the data of the customer data. But here the data is being collected by the hospital and they have shared this data blood sample to the laboratory because it is a business partner of a hospital. And in which scenario this laboratory will not be liable under the HIPAA Act. So we have seen that. So there are four questions, four options. We'll see one by one. If laboratory has a less than 100 employees. So we have seen that in HIPAA Act there is no restriction on the number of employees. So this option is removed. If hospital removed tie-up with the laboratory recently, if the hospital has removed the tie-up recently, uh, there may situation laboratory may not be liable. So we keep this option. If proper SLA is defined by laboratory with the cloud provider, SLA is just for the service availability. In case of cloud, you just pass the functionality, but you cannot pass the liabilities. Liability still live is the laboratory and the medical hospital. If PA agreement is not signed between the hospital and laboratory, this looks much better than option B. The option B is because this tie-up just is in the commercial tie-up, but it does not mention whether it's tie-ups associated with the HIPAA or the data security. The BA agreement is sufficient enough to handle this situation or handle the controls required under HIPAA Act, and the option D will be the most better of choice out of this four. So we'll go with the option D. So in the, a quick recap. HIPAA need or HITECH need that a, a hospital or a medical department or anyone who is collecting the personal customer data, health data, if they have any vendors or any business associates, they must have a written agreement, not verbal, a written signed agreement to ensure that liabilities are passed, and in case there is a breach happen at the BA end, they are also liable and they inform about the authorities immediately. So this is for today.